What's good, YouTube? Y'all know what it is, man. This your boy Tank be chopping, back with another video. And on this video, we gonna be talking about the top 5 trimmers going into 2025. Let's get it. So basically this video is my top trimmers from last year, going into the new year, right? 2025 just started. A lot of people are looking for that go-to trimmer, that one that just smacks, that just hits. So we're gonna be talking about my top trimmers. Now, once again, this is just my list, so it's my opinions. You may have a difference of opinion, and that's totally fine. You can feel free to comment your opinions down in the chat. It ain't no hard feelings, but if y'all have a different list than I do, y'all let me know. And if your list is similar to mine, then once again, let me know down in the comments. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the list. So we're gonna start off this list with my number 5 trimmer, and that trimmer is the Wahl High Viz. Now, I know a lot of people are gonna say that the Wahl High Viz ain't the best trimmer out there, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it's the best either. But when it comes to lining up, man, this thing just hits. Like, there's just something about the way it lines up. It just lines up really well, you know what I'm saying? Whether you got thin hair, thick hair, long hair, short hair, coarse hair, doesn't matter. Any type of hair that I use this trimmer on is lined up nicely. Now, I will say that it doesn't bald out as well as other trimmers or any other trimmer on this list, but the main reason why I have this in my top 5 is just strictly because the way it lines up, the way it hits. Like, it just leaves a super sharp line when I'm lining up, and I actually enjoy just doing one tap and the hair falling off, right? And that's why the High Viz trimmer is my number 5 trimmer going into 2025. So moving on up in the list, we're gonna jump into the number 4 spot, and the number 4 spot I got is the JRL Onyx trimmer. Now, we can be talking about the JRL Onyx trimmer or the JRL Ghost trimmer. To me, they're basically the same trimmer, just a different colorway, right? Now, when the original JRL 2020T came out, a lot of people didn't like that trimmer. They didn't like the blade, they didn't like the way it hit, they couldn't zero gap it, and trust me, I had a lot of the same issues, right? But that trimmer was really good for balding out, right? But this actual trimmer that I'm talking about here is, once again, the Onyx or the JRL Ghost trimmer, and I think this is an upgraded, a nicely upgraded version of that, right? So the blade is a completely different blade. You can actually zero gap the blade easier on these tools, and I think they made good strides in the right direction. So originally, I thought the original trimmer balded out well, but just didn't hit the way I wanted it to. But the JRL Onyx or Ghost does bald out well, and it does line up well also. So that's why I put this trimmer as one of my top trimmers going into 2025. You can use this trimmer for all around use, whether you're balding out, lining up. You can even use trimmer over comb with it if you want to. You can use it on kids. And then did I mention that it's super, super quiet? So when you're cutting kids, sometimes that, that buzzing sound of the trimmer tends to get them kind of jumpy. They start, doing this little number right here. So if you have a quiet trimmer like the JRL Onyx trimmer, you're not gonna have that issue. And then the fact that they upgraded the blades and the blades are working better, that's a good thing when it comes to this trimmer. And that's why the JRL Onyx is my number 4 trimmer. So the next trimmer taking the number 3 spot in my top 5 trimmers going into 2025 is the Babyliss FX1. Now, I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about the Babyliss FX1, but I will say if you get a Babyliss FX1 with the gold blade on it, that thing's gonna hit. That thing's gonna do everything you need it to do. Now, I know some people are gonna say, well, I don't like some of those blades. Once again, it has to be the gold blade, right? Like the other blades, they work well. Sometimes they work better than other times. I've had issues with the graphite blade and the DLC blade, but the original gold blade that comes on the FX, on the gold FX trimmer, you can get that blade and put it on the FX1, and I think the gold FX1 actually comes with that blade. I'm not 100% sure. Y'all may need to fact check me on that, but that blade and that trimmer combo is it just works really, really well. Now, some people may be asking, am I talking about the low pro FX1s? And I'm not, not saying there's anything wrong with the low pro FX1s. I just like the ergonomics and the feel of the original gold FX, and then the gold FX1s happen to be a little more ergonomically shaped, so it kind of took that style and took it up a notch, right? They kept the same blade, and the blade is what really made that trimmer infamous. So if you've used the Gold FX blade, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, you may want to try on one of your Babyliss trimmers just so you can get an idea of what your boy is talking about. Now, I know they have a blue FX blade. I think it's called the blue FX blade. And I think the blue FX blade is really similar to the gold FX blade, right? Not sure if it's the exact same blade, just in a blue color, but I think it is. And if it is, you can opt for that blade over the gold blade also. But me personally, I just think that Babyliss FX1, the gold version, is a great trimmer. Once again, I like the ergonomics of it. It is a quiet trimmer. It hits the way I need it to hit, and it balls out the way I need it to ball out. So you really can't complain or talk down on a trimmer like that, right? So that's why the Babyliss FX1 is my number 3 trimmer going into 2025. So moving on up, we go into the top 2 spots, and these top 2 trimmers that I have in this list can be interchangeable, but I'm gonna tell you why I have them set the way I have them set here in a minute, right? So out of my top 5 trimmers, the number 2 trimmer is the Gamma Boosted. Now, the Gamma Boosted trimmer is a great trimmer. The only downfall for me is it's a little louder than I'd like my trimmers to be. Not saying that it's super loud, but it's a little louder than some of the other trimmers on here, except for the High Viz, right? Like the High Viz is a little louder than the other ones, but the Gamma Boosted trimmer is just a little louder than I'd like, and I really don't like the plastic body on it. Once again, I'm not saying that it's poorly made, not saying that it's cheaply made. That's just the design that they had for this trimmer, but other than that, I think it's a great tool. The ergonomics on it are nice. I like black tools, you know what I'm saying? So if you're one of those barbers who don't like to be super flashy, it's an all black trimmer. The blade on it hits the way a blade should hit, and it balls out well. And when I say it balls out well, like it balls out like really well, you know what I'm saying? So you have a great all-around trimmer with the Gamma Boosted trimmer. Whether you're doing lineups, whether you're balding out, you know, you're shaping a beard, you're lining up the beard behind the neck, whatever you got to do with this trimmer, you can do with this trimmer. So that's why the Gamma Boosted is my number 2 trimmer going into 2025. And my number 1 trimmer going into 2025 is the Starcraft Saber. Now I know this has been around for what, like 3-4 years or so, maybe about 2-3 years. I don't know. The Saber has been around for a minute, right? But when I first got it a couple years back, man, I thought this Saber was just one of the best trimmers I ever used, right? So then I kind of stopped using it because I got some new tools in. I was trying to try the other tools, and they worked well, right? But I went back to the Saber here recently, and I'm like, man, I don't even know why I stopped using it. I love the metal body of the Saber. I like the ergonomics of it. I know a lot of people may say that it's a little chunky for them. It may feel a little fat in their hands, but that's personal preference. But I like the ergonomics of it. I like the blade on it, you know, and I like the fact that you can get it in gold or black. Me personally, I had it in black, but I think I gave it away or I sold it. I'm not sure what I did with it. So I ended up getting another one, and I had to get the gold one. I like the black one better, but the gold one is a great, you know, it looks great also. But my preference would have just been to get the black one, right? But I like that you have options with it, right? But the main reason why I really like it is, once again, is that blade. That blade is just something super, super nice. And then the trimmer itself is a super quiet trimmer. I don't know if you've ever turned on the Saber trimmer, but that trimmer is just super quiet, feels great in the hand. The vibration isn't too much. It lines up good. It balls out good. It leaves them super, super sharp razor lines. It eats through hair. Me personally, man, that's my favorite trimmer. Obviously, that's why this list is my top trimmers going into 2025, right? But that's just my opinion. Once again, you may have a difference of opinion. You may say my list is all wrong. You may interchange some of my trimmers and put one above the other or vice versa. But I think if you have any of these trimmers, you really can't go wrong with it. You can get the majority of your work done with any of these trimmers. It's really just going to boil down to personal preference, right? So if you don't like the Saber trimmer, you may like the Onyx trimmer. If you don't like the Onyx trimmer, you may like the Babyliss FX1 trimmer. If you don't like that one, you may like the Boosted a little bit, right? And it's really, like I said, once again, to each his own and personal preference. These are just my top 5 trimmers going into the new year. But yeah, man, that Saber is just something else. Like I said, man, I really like the ergonomics of it, like the blade, like the way it balls out, like the way it lines up, likes the way it feels in the hand. It's a super quiet motor also. So once again, that's just one of them things you really can't beat when it comes to an all-around great tool. Now, before we finish off this video, I do want to give an honorable mention to the Cocoa trimmers, and not because I like them, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't really like the Cocoa trimmers, but I see so many people using them and so many people saying how good they are. So that may be a trimmer that the majority of barbers like. I'm just not one of those barbers, right? But that doesn't mean that the trimmer isn't a good tool. It just means that it's not my personal preference, right? So to each his own, but I just wanted to put that trimmer, I just wanted to mention that trimmer in this video because I know that is a trimmer that a lot of barbers go crazy for and tend to use a lot of the time. But yeah, man, that's basically it for this video. Once again, y'all let me know what y'all think about my list. Y'all let me know if my list was on point. Was I super off? Is your list the exact same as mine? Matter of fact, y'all comment y'all's list down in the comments, but let's get active in the comments. Let's start talking about these trimmers and seeing which one is actually better, right? And remember, guys, if you want to purchase any of these trimmers, I do have discount codes in the description for a lot of these different companies. But if you just want to go to one website and try to find all these trimmers, you can. You can go to fwbarbersupply.com. Use my discount code TANK10 on that website to save yourself some money. But with that being said, man, that's basically it for this video. If you like this video, please make sure to smash that like button. Also, if you're new to my channel, make sure and subscribe one time for your boy. And that's basically it, YouTube. I appreciate y'all for watching. Until next time, let's go. Yeah.